Hey everyone, it is Jeremy here. Wanted to say hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Um, my dogs happen to decide to be active at this moment, so if I have to get up and get out real quick, I'll be right back and we'll help them, and then I'll come back and be with you. So, welcome. If you're in the live stream, please say hi in the comments. I'd love to see who's here. And of course, like and subscribe. I got to get used to that. Saying that, like, subscribe, and share this with everyone that you know. All right? Yes, let's do that. All right, well, today we're going to set up a widget. I'm just going to go through, it's going to be maybe 15, 20 minutes at the very most. And it's about setting up a widget, just running through the process again, over and over. I do this every single day of my life when I'm working, which is a lot. And so I just want to walk through it and give you the lowdown on that. What we're going to do is look at this documentation here. This is um, what is this? This is the tabulator documentation. We're going to create a new table that looks like this. Maybe not the dark mode, but some sort of styling. And we're just going to walk through the process and install it. Okay. We'll start over here in the browser. We'll go over to VS Code, and then we'll get into FileMaker. So I'm all ready to go. In fact, I did for this project, I've already created a widget using the npx command and the create widget command. So if you know how that's done, that's great. If you don't, when this video is done being live, I will post a link to another video that shows that process. But today we're going to skip over that. Instead, we're going to just install it as we go. Hey, Dean, welcome. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Happy to have you here. All right, so let's walk through the process. This is a really nice new data tables. It's newer than the data tables version that we're used to, and I like it. I'm exploring it. I think it's pretty awesome. So I want to see what it's about here. I've used this a few times, so I know how to do it. But I'm setting up to create another widget for someone, so I thought I would let's just walk through it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the code into the library, make sure I'm on the right one, the right version. They've got a lot of versions, and then find the installation and walk through the installation. In VS Code, we are using modern tools to help us with this. So the fact that I can read this, read the documentation. Oops, what was that? Hold on. Read the documentation. And what happened here? Let's fix that. Oh, that's why. Did I quit VS Code? There we go. Okay. So the fact that I can read what's doing that? I don't understand. The fact that I can read the documentation and follow with what normal quote or modern developers would do to install this into their website. So here we go. So we're going to start with the npm. I use npm. And I'm just going to do what they say. I'm going to install data tabulator tables. I'm going to run this in the command line of the project over here in VS Code that is running right now. Stop the server from running and type in npm install tabulator tables. Now it over here, it does say we need to save it, but I've never needed to do that. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to hit install. Let's make this bigger so you can see it. And I press that. And what this is doing is it's going to the internet to get all of this code and bring it into this project. So whatever was over here in wherever their source is of their table of their code, it is now part of this project. There I am. Hi. It is part of this project, and you can see that. Let me get rid of me, put me over there. What am I doing here? This is so much fun. All right, so here we go. So yeah, so now it's what was in their source is now in here. It is actually in the node modules folder that is right here. And somewhere in here is a folder called tabulator tables which holds all of the code that will make this library run. I don't know how it works. It's not important. It's in here now. So now it's part of this project, and that's great because I can use it. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's open up my source folder. Oh, and by the way, when I install something, it becomes part of the package JSON. The package JSON is a file here that tells us everything that's part of this project, the package. So we've got a object here called dependencies, and it's got a list. It's got the file name. 1 second, please. All right. So let's see here. We've got it installed. Now the next step is to use it. So let's go over to my source. I got to stop using the file explorer because it takes up a lot of space. Instead, I'm going to hit Command P and type in source, and that'll bring up, or I want to type index.js, and that'll bring up the index.js. Okay, so now let's see here. Over in the quick start, I'll just follow through and see what it says to do. We've already done the install. Now we need to import the library into our code base. So our index.js here in VS Code is our source of our code base. It's like the entry point. So I'm going to, at the very top, import tabulator full as tabulator from tabulator tables. This is a beautiful part of the development environment, and it's a part of what web developers do every day. The library is stored in a table in our node modules folder, and we can import it in here. And eventually, when this thing is compiled, it will be all part of the one string that goes into FileMaker. So this is just a nice way to access the library without having to copy the library's code into this file, because this is where our work is. This is where the data is going to happen, where we set our options. What we're doing here is we are importing the library. It's actually called tabulator full, and we're putting it into a variable, an uppercase variable called tabulator, so we can just use that. All right, let's see what the instructions say next. We're going to also need to import the style sheets. We're going to try this. I'm not sure that this might not work. Actually, we'll get to that when we get to it. All right, so now we've got that, and I'm going to start by just creating the sample. I'm going to use their sample data here. So the first thing I do is create a DOM element in my index.html. So let's bring that up, index.html. And rather than have all this stuff in here, by the way, this is what it looks like. Let me show you what it looks like at this moment. So this is what's running in this code over here in VS Code is running a development server, and this is what is visible. If I come in here and make a change and save it, then when I reload this, that is what is there. So now FileMaker is reading the code, the HTML from this right here. Let's get rid of this here. Okay, so now let's do it. It says we can get rid of all this stuff. We don't need the all right. We don't need the button. We do need that script. What we do need is a div with an ID of table. We'll just call it table. There we go. All right, that's what, if we can see it here, that's what the instructions say. We just need a div with an ID of table, and it can be anything. I'm changing mine to table. Then I'm going to copy this sample data here. So I'll copy that, put it in my index.html, and paste it in. I'm going to change this from var to const. We're not supposed to use var anymore. It's just a not good way to do it, because I won't get into it, but I always end up changing it because library documentation often doesn't update what they're doing. And then I will copy this in here. So the next bit of code is right here. And I'm just going to copy this, place it in here, change the variable declarations from var to const. Okay. Change the ID from example table to table because that's what's part of mine. And then just look at these columns, look at the options here. So this is a bunch of options. This is a function. This function, what it does is going to be assigned to a variable, but this function needs two things according to the documentation. It needs a place to put the table, a div element, and then it needs some options. So here's a bunch of options that we are including in here, all the way down through this there. And then we are adding a row click here. So let's save this and go to FileMaker and see what we got. So we got something. We got a table, but it doesn't look any good because we don't have the CSS installed. So let's go add the CSS. I need to find the CSS. Let's see. So I'll go back to the installation. It tells me I need to where was that? Find.css. So I'll just do it because I know how it's done. Over here in my over here in my code base, in the node modules folder, there's that tabulator tables. Let's go find it. tabulator tables. It has a dist folder, it has some CSS, and it has all these options for our CSS that we could install. Some of them are dark mode, some of them are light mode. I'm just going to pick this modern one and stick with that. So I'll go over here, right click on it, and just say copy relative path. And then I have to go over to the index.html file and import that in here just like I did up here. So in fact, type it at import and then paste. Okay. And put a semicolon at the end. There we go. So now when we go to FileMaker, this is what we get. We get a nicely styled table. This is the modern table. I'm not actually a fan of that. I'm going to try to find another one. How about, what have I used before? Bootstrap. I'll start with I'm going to try their default. So it's tabulator.min.css. So let's try that. Tabulator.min.css. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, I like that. I think I like that better. Well, do I? Let's see. This one seems to be filling it all. The other one seems to have, it's smaller rows, and so there's some space there. Either one, I guess. Whatever works. Let's try one more. Bootstrap, materialize, Bulma. Let's just try the materialize. So tabulator _materialize. Okay. So now we got a better version, and I can come in here and just change the height. I think I've got a height column. Fit columns, height. Yeah. So let's do 400. There we go. Okay. So now we have a nicely styled document there. Okay, so that is pretty much it. That is me setting up this widget so that I can start to pull in data from FileMaker and get going with that. If you are interested in learning how to do this for yourself and use this method, please join the JS&FM community. If you haven't already, be a part of that and enroll in some of those courses there. I've got a free course that talks about how to set this all up, get your computer ready for it. And then we've got some paid courses that lead you through working with JavaScript and FileMaker. It walks through how to work with libraries like this one, and it walks through how to get data in and out of the web viewer and so forth. So I would love to see you there. I'd love to help you learn some JavaScript for FileMaker so that you can put these apps in. But anyway, I've got this app ready to go. It's great to have it here, and now I can continue on with client data and get some good stuff going. All right, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. This was quick, but you can always watch it back later. And be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to spread it to your FileMaker friends that are interested in JavaScript so they can learn more about that. Thank you, Dean, and others for joining us. I appreciate it. If you're here, say hi before I end the stream. Say hi. You're welcome, Dean. Appreciate it. Please, yeah. Anyway, that's it. We'll see you later, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.